Now, I'm by no means a Carby expert. I have played with them enough to be dangerous. Hey guys, welcome to Red's Projects. Today we're going to have a look at this kind of rare Holley Carb that I'm going to be running on my XG Ute with the LS motor. It is a 750 double pumper mechanical secondary, which does not at all sound exotic or fancy or rare, but it's the bowls and the metering blocks on this particular Carby that are very unique and rare and pretty hard to find these days. So let me get it out and show you. Alright, now doesn't that look a bit funny? So this is something Holley did in what I'm guessing is the early 80s kind of thing. Some of the instructions that came with it are from like 82, so I don't know exactly where, and it's in some old books and stuff as well. But this is the Holley quarter mile dial or the mile dial. I'm pretty sure these ones are the mile dial ones. And it's in the middle of it, it's all just like a normal 750 Holley. It's the metering blocks and the bowls. They have these solenoids on them, and you can control fuel flow, which bypasses the main jets, up or down about 5 jet sizes from inside the car using this little guy. So you wire it all up, and you just got a little dial there, and you can go back and forth, and supposedly you can go up and down about 5 jet sizes. And you can use that to fine-tune your jetting, have your jetting spot on, and then you can use that for, say, elevation changes or different air density and temperature and that. You can just give it a click here and there without having to take your bowls off. It sounds like an awesome idea, but the reason it's not that popular and it's kind of rare and hard to find these days is the timing at when Holley released all these. Like I said, guessing early 80s, mid 80s, whatever. Injection wasn't looked at as a performance thing, like electronic fuel injection. Anything electronics in a muscle car, wasn't the way to go. So it didn't quite sell that well, and like it's missed it now because injection's so cheap now that you can buy a Holley Sniper EFI setup for the cost of a decent Carby. So if it had got released maybe a little bit later when people were a bit more keen on electronics and stuff, it would have taken off like wildfire, I think. But yeah, it kind of just went to the side and no one really cared about them. So what I'm going to do is I will bring the camera in a bit closer. I'll give you some good close-ups of it. I'm going to pull the bowls and everything apart, and I'm actually going to change the main body. This one's a brand new virgin main body. So I'm going to take that off and keep that aside because I have got this Proform race style body for it, which is also a 750, same Venturi size and everything. So I swap everything onto this. The beauty of these mile dial bowl setups, they can go on any body. So it doesn't matter if it's 650, 850, whatever. You can put them onto any body you want. The magic happens in this part, which I'll get to shortly, and also going to go through a couple books. I'll take some decent photos of where these things have made it into the books, and there's a few diagrams that will help understand how they actually work. It's very simple when you think about it, but the diagrams will help. So let me get you a better look at this thing, and we'll start ripping it apart. Alright, so I'll just give you a quick little 360 view of this thing. So the bowls are pretty funky looking compared to normal double pumper bowls. Like I said, the body and the base plate is just normal off-the-shelf Holley stuff. It's really just the bowls and the metering blocks that are different. And you'll notice that the fuel inlets, you've got one over here, one over there. So it's diagonal across from each other, so you kind of need to put a Y in your fuel line and run 2 separate lines. But needle and seat looks to be much the same, and The accelerator pump and everything looks the same. It's just the solenoid part of it that makes it all different. So I'll just zap this bowl off and just show you what's inside. Bowl's off. Metering block looks fairly normal. I'll point out what's different about it in a second. And then back to the main body, which, like I said, is just normal. So let's push this out the way. And let's start with the bowl. So we haven't got our normal center hung bowls that we're used to with these double pumpers. And like I said, accelerator pump, much the same. Just got this big funky looking casting with the solenoid on it. So now if you look very carefully in there, behind the float there's this tube. And you see that little slot there? Fuel goes in there, so that's normally that way. Fuel goes into the solenoid. And then it follows this gallery here. Got a hole here. That matches up to our metering block. Right down here, where it splits into two. And it basically goes around the main jets. So it goes underneath it and goes into the cavity behind the main jets, which probably has a name that I'm not thinking of right now. There's a diagram in one of the books. I will grab that now because that probably does a better job of explaining it than I do. There's our solenoid. Fuel enters into it and then goes up this gallery here. And that's our main jet there. So it is just bypassing the main jet. And the solenoid works off a duty cycle, like a fuel injector. You can see here they give you a little figure to explain that as well. So depending on your on time versus your off time, depends on how much fuel flows through that gallery and bypasses the main jet. All right, let's give you a quick look at the controller you put on your dash. Very simple. You got switch for fixed and for adjust, and just got a dial with 5 clicks either way. So there's your baseline, rich, lean. All right, so like I said before, I want to use this Proform body mainly because it looks cool, but it's chokeless. It's got the air bleeds in the top that I can adjust, so it gives you a bit more tuning options, and to keep this 750 body a virgin, unused body, just to preserve it, I guess. So I'll continue stripping it down. So I got this Carby from Tony. It was kind of a deal we did with all the work I did to his Monaro. Yeah, he gave me a Carby and some money instead of just a whole lot of money. So this worked out good for me. I needed a Carby for my LS. So, and he's had this for ages and never used it. So yeah, it was just good for it to get some use. And he also gave me that body as well, and his massive collection of gaskets to freshen this thing up and make it all new again. So big thanks to Tony for all this. I was just going to buy like a 750 Brawler off Summit or something, or just like a reconditioned 750 double pumper, but this is going to be much cooler. I'm going to enjoy this one much more with that solenoid setup, providing it works. Okay, how tight is this going to be? Just think, this Carby is probably older than I am, if it's made in the 80s. Now, I'm by no means a Carby expert. I have played with them enough to be dangerous. But it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a Carby ALS. I want to learn. Come on, be nice. Come on. Oh. Try and save this gasket. Probably not. Yeah, tore it a little bit. Alright, that's off. That's not really going to be used. We'll put that aside. Alright, I've got a few gasket surfaces I've got to clean up, so I'll do them off camera and we'll assemble this in a second. Alright, I got all the gasket surfaces cleaned up. I've decided I'm going to try and reuse the gaskets that were on it, even though they're a bit torn up and ugly looking. The other ones are just slightly different. If I lay them over, you see that this stud here is in the hole for the stud's in a different spot, and there's a little bit more meat on the black ones around here. So if you were to drill a hole or punch a hole there, there's less chance of it leaking. So they could probably work, but I'm going to try these ones first. If they leak, I'll make something else out for it. But anyway, let's get this thing together. Alright, Carby's all done, or at least until I put some fuel in it and maybe find a leak or two. I reckon it looks much better like that compared to with the choke, and I got a bit more adjustment and it's just a little bit more racier. So I reckon it looks great. I pulled the motor out because I want to just dummy it up and see how it looks, and I thought I might as well dummy up my nitro system as well. So for those that don't know, I got a double cheater plate, and I got a pair of power shot solenoids and a pair of cheater solenoids for it. So these guys are good for 150, 175 shot. They're good for 250. So the plan is to leave on these little guys on like 100 shot and then add another 100, 150, 200. Depends on how much this poor little LS will take, but that's the plan anyway. So let's just drop this guy on. Look at that. So that's how it's going to look in the engine bay. That's going to look awesome. Alright, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed checking out a kind of quirky, rare, oddball Holley that Holley made in the 80s. I think I'm very lucky to have one. I don't think there's many of them around still. And I hope my one works, and I hope it works well. Because the theory on them is awesome. Like, it should work really well. So I'm hoping it does, and it's quite a good, functional, useful carby. But time will tell. And I just really wanted to make this video to show it off and get some information out there as well, because I tried to research a bit on them and I couldn't find a great deal of info. I've got a couple old Holley books that the Carby is mentioned in it. So what I'm going to do is take some decent photos of them and the instructions and everything and put it at the end of this video. So if you want to learn more about it, if you might be able to read it and understand it a bit better than I've explained it, or just to read through some history. It's pretty interesting stuff, and I just thought I'd get this information up on YouTube, get it up on the internet. So you know, it's there. So you know, books will disappear, paper can burn, you know, everything can disappear. So if you can get more information out there for people, that it might make someone's life better. I mean, you might find one of these Carbys or one of these bowl kits at a swap meet. Never heard of them before. Google it, come to this video, and you can at least learn a little bit about them. And hopefully I'll do a few more videos with it working. So that's the plan anyway. But that's it for tonight. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.